be beginning my speech in 3, 2, 1. I contest that the series of words and sentences that I'm about to share with you is a long, less than 7-minute speech. Instead, it's a series of advice and reminders crafted from the utmost, most caring and truth-revealing parts of my heart to convince you of your own worth and your own capacities. You can write a novel by the end of 2023. You, judges, Mr. Shubani, Miss Monica, Mr. Richard, can write a novel by the end of 2023. That is 315 days and 45 weekends away. By definition, a novel is a picturesque prose, a narrative of a considerable book length, typically representing characters in action with some degree of realism. We're busy, you're busy, I'm busy, she's busy, he's busy, they're busy with work, with school, with children, with partying, with relaxing time, with responsibilities, with extracurriculars, and with all types of burdening responsibilities and duties. Time allocation and management is hard, and I'm not contesting it. You could drain every nanosecond, of every minute, of every hour, of every day, of every week, of every month, remaining month in 2023 to this hypothetical novel. But time doesn't guarantee excellence. All the time doesn't guarantee making the New York Times bestsellers list or slithering our way to Oprah Winfrey's book club recommendations list. And time shouldn't guarantee excellence. This novel doesn't have to be excellent. Novel. Boom. Said it. You thought of the world's best novelists: Colleen Hoover, J.K. Rowling, Stephen King, F. Scott Fitzgerald, Agatha Christie, Paulo Coelho, Charles Dickens, Mark Twain, Jane Austen, Margaret Atwood, Ernest Hemingway. Woo! That was quite a lot. Excellence is subjective for one. And if excellence is what you're after, I hereby pledge to write a glorious recommendation raving about your novel's excellence on Goodreads. But how would I read it? Because you don't have to publish it, but you do have to write it by the end of 2023. Let me reiterate, this isn't about crafting a novel whom when I'll take my machine and dive 150 years in the future, who'll be taught in the light, airy, gloss-covered futuristic classrooms, or a novel whose first lines will be cited in graduation speeches, anniversary speeches, essays, wedding speeches, celebratory speeches, research papers, and the list extends. Let us interview each member participating today, and let us dedicate about 8 pages to them. The first, which will outline their parents and family life, the second, which will outline their childhood, the third, which will outline their hobbies, the fourth, which will outline their school and academic life, the fourth, which will again outline their school and academic life, and the fifth, which will outline their favorite food, the sixth, which will outline the descriptions of their current physical appearance, and the seventh, which will outline their environment they're currently in, and the eighth, which will outline their future goals and aspirations. 8 times 11 is 88. Right? So now we have a considerable length. We have some form of reality. Now write 15 pages in Times New Roman, 12-size font with 1.5 line separation, which is usually the novel format requirements, about your personal dreams, and go full detail. Spare nothing. I want the most trivial, most indecent, and most oddly scientific details. You want to graduate Harvard Law School, write about the gateways to it, the people you encountered there, the colors of their backpacks, the wallpapers of their phones, the colors of their pencil cases, the brand of their pencil cases, the velocity at which their hands were gesturing, and the velocity at which their hair was swaying in the wind. Write about the leaves, the colors of the leaves, the interaction between the leaves and the students. You want to open your bakery, write about your fiercest competitors. La Durée will become La Murée, Pierre Hermé will become Pierre Berthet. Write about the walls to this bakery, about the cakes that you'll feature in this bakery, about your purchases to make this bakery. Write about the organizational structure of the employees to this bakery, the people you want to employ for this bakery, the salary you'll be giving each employee for this bakery, about the location of this bakery, about the recipe to each of the treats served in this bakery. You want children, you want a $500 million sudden innocent deposit on your bank account, you want to be valedictorian, you want the powerful almighty forces to guarantee you health for the rest of your life. Write about these aspirations in the present tense. They're not real. I mean, they could be real, they could happen, and I hope they happen. And so here comes your fictitious aspect in no particular order, because this is a novel, just a novel who meets the basic requirements of a novel. It doesn't have to be great, not even in composition. Let us go on Google, right? How to write a novel. Boom! Masterclass website, WikiHow website, Jerry Jenkins website, who graduated from Princeton, summa cum laude, aka graduated with the highest level of excellence in language and literature, 21 years old, and had made the New York Times bestsellers list. And if this doesn't appeal to your logos, because he clearly has credibility, he clearly has knowledge in the discipline, your ethos, because he clearly has an accomplishment that you don't, your pathos because he's done something that you've been desiring for the past minute at least, and the subject to your logos, to your ethos, and to your pathos said that you could do it. Raise your two hands and bring each finger down. And let's do it again just to make sure that wasn't a wave of good luck. Your brain just gave you an order to think. Hallelujah! Your fingers just obey to your brain. If today isn't the day, now tell your brain to order your hands to get to writing. Considerable length, about 100 pages, fictitious, but not entirely realistic, not fantasy. I'm a 17 years old, 3.9 GP on a 4.2 scale, not a genius, scored a 27 out of 100 on my math exam last year on complex numbers, 57 out of 100 on my biology exam this year about amino acids, got an 88 in my English class this trimester, but I was able to write 889 words in the span of 16 minutes. That's about a page and a half in Times New Roman, 12 size font, 1.5 spacing. Usual novel format requirements again. So you should be too. You're older. Some of you are national debate ministers, others lawyers, and you all have the competence to adjudicate a series of persuasive speeches. You can write the same in the same amount of time, if not more, in less amount of time. 525,600 minutes in a year. January 1st of 223 was about 68,236 minutes ago. That leaves you with 457,214 minutes to write a novel. 889 divided by 16, that's 55 words per minute. 55 times 120, that's 6,600 words. That's 7 pages. 120 minutes each remaining week. You have the capacities to craft something of minimal book length. The same way you were able to understand everything I've said till here, and the same way you've been selected to evaluate my speech alongside that of my peers, and the same way you've read the rubric that you'll be assessing me on, and the same way that you'll provide me feedback and have a conversation with your fellow judges as to who you feel should win, is the same way you have a sufficient enough, decent enough way with words to feel inspiration from external sources, or to write, or to type them out on Google Documents, on a Microsoft document, on A4 paper, on your journal, your diary, and napkin, and the list of hypothetical surfaces is always adapted to you. It's the same way I know you can think. You can write. You can think. You have time. You can therefore write a novel by the end of 2020.